What's up, guys? So as you can tell, I've yet to shower, and I just woke up. I'll probably post this a little bit later. My eyes look kind of weird. Whatever, I guess I should. Anyways, just want to do like my start of the day kind of free association talk as I feed my cats. You can hear them. Esme, yeah. Um, so a lot going on right now in the world. I think it's important each day. Mika, you're blocking the camera. Mika, move your big tail. It's important each day to put your life into perspective, right? I've been called more than ever these days to really look at the sixth house and look at Virgo, but also look at Pisces, right? So in astrology we talk about. This is going to be like, you guys are going to get the real, like, a lot of information and a lot of, like, wisdom out of this video because this is, like, an opposition in astrology that has so much wisdom. So, in astrology, we're given these divine laws, right? We're given these divine, like, through what's found in astrology, we can start to understand God a little bit better, right? And, astrology, there's many different systems which I could go on forever about, right? There's Indian astrology, Vedic astrology, Mayan astrology, Babylonian astrology. It goes on and on and on. So ultimately, it's like, what are all these systems trying to do, and which one is the best? I had this idea the other day, and I wasn't. I'll get to the Virgo Pisces stuff in a second, but this idea came to me, and I was like, yo, that blew my fucking mind. Where did this come from? I had these crazy meditations yesterday. And I was thinking, I was like, what if when we are doing astrology, when we're doing tarot, when we are doing whatever form of astrology, right? Western, Vedic, whatever it may be, the divine, how do I say this? Not only are we looking at something, like at a chart that is divine and that was created, like, like someone was born at a specific time for whatever purpose, karmic purpose, but also there's a certain level of not just us trying to figure out what the divine said in this one fixed period of time, but a constant stream of consciousness coming from the divine. Let me sip my coffee. Give myself the rare treat of a coffee in my nice cup. One sec. So it's to say that when I do someone's chart, right? Just an example, or I look at my own chart, there's a synchronicity, a knowing that this person or that person is going to look at their astrology, right? Because I've looked at charts where it seems like there's like less there. I don't know. And it's weird, and it's so hard to explain because a lot of times, like, people who like come to me as clients, like, I see so much meaning in their charts. I never meet them, like, or I never like meet them before doing the readings, but I can just tell through the charts what's there, like the energy. But then, like, I can also have individuals who like might not believe in astrology. Let's just say, and I look at their charts and I see little aspects of like of truth, but it doesn't feel like all the way like that connection, right? That I would feel if I was with someone who really believed. And I sometimes I wonder, is there like a synchronicity in that, right? Is there like a level of like that person has to like still own parts of themselves, right? Um, like my friend, he's a good guy. He doesn't believe in it. He still doesn't says he doesn't believe in astrology. I gave him like a reading, an actual reading, a few weeks ago, and just like on the spot, just randomly, I was like, all right, like, this guy, like, intelligent dude, went to school with me and whatnot, masters, and I went through his whole chart. I kind of, I know he's my friend, so like I knew things about him. I didn't know everything about him, but like I could see a lot of the aspects, and it started to make more and more sense. But then at the end of it, he's like, but I still don't believe astrology exists, but it was very interesting to see how, intricate and how much more there is to it. Like basically that it was like the classic like Taurus response, Leo, Taurus sun, Leo moon, like fixed energy. It's gonna be hard with Taurus Mercury to kind of like, which is the irony of it, right? Like his chart's like made for someone who's not like gonna be believing in something like that. But yeah, I was just thinking about this, like how like what if through the astrology, through the evolving astrology, it's also there's a certain level of like of downloads, a certain level of the divine trying to use that as a way to talk to us, right? It's a raw idea. It's a new one. But I think there could be some ground to it. There could be some truth to it, and yeah. So besides that, I wanted to talk about like the Virgo Pisces stuff, right? So in astrology, we're given these oppositions. There's 6 of them, right? Each sign has an opposite sign, which is the exact same. It's like on a line, right, on a spectrum. This is Virgo, or this is Virgo, this is Pisces. The same energy, just opposite, right? So imagine that exists 6 times for Taurus, Scorpio, for Gemini, Sag, for Cancer, Capricorn, for Leo, Aquarius, and then Virgo, Pisces, as I said, and then they're leaving out. They say Libra, Aries, yeah. I think I said them all. Anyways, so each of these you can think of like on a level, and like someone who might be like, for example, Pisces might act more like a Virgo in some ways, right? It's just like, and then they might like or like a good example is someone who's an Aries might start off life being very Aries like, very very and then after that they realize, okay, that doesn't win me over as many friends, so then they might shift over to the Libra part a little bit, and then after a while, they're like, okay, but this is against like my nature, like I'm too acquiescing, I'm too making more friends, but it's not as authentic. So then they come back, maybe not all the way Aries, but somewhere in between, and maybe like throughout their lives they bounce, around that, and that can be looked at for all the signs. So if you're someone who doesn't necessarily connect with, the signs in your chart, maybe that's an issue, part of it, right? Look at the opposite signs, right? I think there's some type of astrology I've never studied. I think it's called evolutionary, some kind of evolutionary astrology, where you are like your opposite sign. So maybe there's something to do with that, right? Which is interesting. But anyways, with the Virgo Pisces and how it relates to now, is that I've been called more and more to like really like look at how the daily routine equals the fate, how what you put in, each day, like boom, boom, boom. I made a post about last night about like, putting in a certain amount of work that's consistent each day or most days, because like, some people are more consistent than other people. Some people, like myself, don't want to do the same shit every day. But it's good to still have an idea like, okay, on a baseline day, I'm going to do this. Blah, 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 blah. These are things that are going to make me feel good physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, right? These are the people that are going to make me feel good like that. These are the environments. Not to say that you should always like hide from anything that's bad, that's difficult. I'm just saying that it's good to ask yourself those questions. So Virgo is very good at planning. It's very good at like the step-by-step, but sometimes Virgo gets too caught up in those step-by-step, and it loses sight of the big picture, which Pisces is like all about the big picture, classically ruled by Jupiter, now ruled by, in modern astrology, by Neptune, and co-ruled by Jupiter. It gives perspective, right? It can kind of see, it's very artistic because, it can see the big picture. It can kind of see everything as how it is as a part of the grand one, how it relates to the divine creation, and it can make life make more sense when you have that But when you're too much like that, which, because like too much like the Pisces can be too much daydreamy, too naive, too idealistic, like, oh, it's for sure gonna work out. Oh, like, I'm not worried about these things. Like, I'm just gonna, like I don't have to work on myself, and I'm just gonna meet my soulmate, and like it's just gonna, like, my whole life's gonna fucking just change because I'm gonna meet them. It's gonna be perfect, and blah 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 blah. The Virgo energy is the part that the Pisces needs to be like, okay, yeah, some of that might be true, but it's not going to happen unless I work on myself, and unless I start to move towards my goals. Like, Pisces dreams up the goals. It's like the ideologue. It's like the dreamer. And Virgo actually can make step-by-step movement towards those goals, right? So very important when you have any of those energies in your chart, or if you don't, who cares? They're just archetypes that we all have in our life, right? All 6 of them are. To just learn that, like, okay, what are your dreams, and how is your daily day, Virgo, reflecting those, right? That's literally what it is. And then to find balance between that archetype is about finding balance between dreaming and actually manifesting, and actually day by day manifesting. Another thing when you're too far on the Virgo side in healing this kind of energy is, and maybe I'll do a post about like each of these, right? All 6 of these oppositions. Maybe I'll do like Aries Libra tomorrow or something. I don't know, or another day. But basically, like, you are too detail oriented, too like when you I lost my train of thought. When being too Virgo, you might lose this faith, right? You might lose, like, for example, my mom's a Virgo, I'm a Pisces, and she's sending me all these worried emails about like what's happening in Russia or in Ukraine, and all whatever what's happening. And I had to tell her, like, look, like, you got to remember, regardless of what information, you can just like throw so much information, like Virgo, but like you're forgetting the most important thing, which is God. Because Virgo and Pisces are very spiritual people, or like very spiritual energies, right? So they have potential, right? Everything's potential. I know we all know Virgos and Pisces who are the least spiritual people. I know, don't worry. But, if it's a spiritual Virgo or spiritual Pisces, then, the Virgo, when you're too far on the Virgo side, you have to be reminded of, like, oh, it's going to be okay. Like, everything's part of God's plan. And to kind of like take yourself out of that in the minute, in the hour, that really like horizontal time, and kind of and that's why meditation is so important, or whatever it does that takes you out of your mental, because Virgo is Mercury, right? And then Pisces is Jupiter and Neptune, which are way higher energies in terms of like, they're way higher in terms of they're out of this world energies, right? But it's not to say that Virgos are all Mercury, because like I said, a Virgo can be completely on the Pisces side, but they can have their own version of that, which is like the high Virgo energy, which is like the earth magic, right? Working with what's here, with what's seen, like think like, the witch in the forest working with herbs, and doing ceremonies, and being very resourceful, building things, whatever, structures, stuff like that. So that's kind of how you heal that, is that you take the best parts of each sign, you apply them to your life, and then you also watch out. Because another part of the Pisces part, and on this, the bad part about Pisces is the tendency towards escapism, towards giving up too easy, right? Towards saying, okay, fuck it, my dreams are great, but it's too hard. This one setback comes up, and they can be weak sometimes, Pisces, right? In the sense that like they're not willing to fight back. They can be like little careless puppies. Not all, because remember, Pisces are all different. Like, it's the last sign, so it's really, you have to like I'm a Pisces, but like I'm more like, I'm a Leo rising Sag moon with Venus and Mars and Aquarius. Like, those are more me, and that's how each Pisces is. Like, look at their ascendant and their moon more to understand who they are, because it's really a blending of all the signs, but they're always going to have that. So watch out for the escapism, drugs, alcohol, or any kind of escape. All right, that's it for today. Let me know what you guys think. Have a good one. Ciao.